choice virtually. Hopefully you're all kicking back at home, just doing your thing, watching those old TV shows that you forgot about, but relaxing inside the house. I'm going to bring you a Pilates workout on the mat today, so this is just something that you can do without even getting out of bed. A couple of things we just want to remind you of: make sure you're cleared for physical exercise. This is always a conversation you should be having with your physician. Also, depending on how your body feels today, some of the stuff we're going to do might not feel too good. If that's the case, you're more than welcome to downgrade it. Remember, this is your workout. I'll be offering progressions, so if you find a sweet spot where you feel that's perfect for you, just stay there. Alright, so we're just going to start on our back. So I have a cushion here just in case. You can have a pillow at home, but we're just going to start on our back with the feet right by the sits bones here. We're just going to start with a good old chest lift. So when you lie down, what I want you to do is bolt the back of your spine down as well as your tailbone. I really want you to use your abs to just lock everything in place. You might have a little bit of a space right here by your lumbar support. You're in the neutral position of your spine. So just use your abs, just lock everything in that position, and just try to keep that as much as possible so that you can keep a nice strong spine. From here, we're just going to place the hands delicately behind the head, or you can place them across your chest here. Now, from here, what I want you to do is curl the chin to the collarbones first, and then use your abs to lift your rib cage off of the floor. You're not going to drag your head up. That's going to hurt the neck. We want to keep the neck nice and safe. So first you shift the weight of your head and then you lift. So we're just going to start here. Powerful exhales as you lift. You can take the hands here. You can also reach across the room. Deep breaths in. Really go for that full contraction. Really try to lift your whole rib cage off of the floor. Let's go for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Now the progression of this is we're going to lift our legs up into the tabletop position. Now when I say tabletop, knees are over hips. You're not going to pull the knees over the stomach. That's cheating. I want you to push them back. Keep your neutral position of the spine. Now if you find in this position that your spine is starting to warp back and forth, you can take the legs down and you can just be on the toes, or you can go into imprinted. And basically what that is you're just pressing your spine all the way down in the mat. So you're just kind of bracing it on the floor. It's a little bit more secure, especially if you're still building strength in your core. So you have options for your spine here. But we're going to progress. Like I said, if having your feet on the floor or the toes down is better for you, please stick with that. You should start to have a light heat building up in the abs here. A light warming sensation. We've got 4 and 3 and 2 and hold for 3 and 2 and 1. Just hug the knees into the spine, just rock it out. Okay, from here we can extend the legs out. Now this is called the roll up, so it's kind of a progression of what we've been doing here. You're completely flat on the ground. I flexed my toes towards my head here. I'm just going to start reaching across the room here. I'm going to take a deep breath in. And then as my arms come up, I'm going to exhale, curling the chin to the collarbones, keeping the feet down, and pulling myself all the way up and over. Now I'm reaching one way with my arms, but I'm pulling my abs in the opposite way. In Pilates, we call this a two-way stretch. And what you're doing is you've got your rock solid core, but at the same time, you're really stretching out through all of the limbs. And you're just bringing it back down.
That one will take some practice, so if you can't keep the feet all the way down the first time, that's totally fine. Just practice, okay? We have plenty of time for that now. So let's do 3 more. Deep breath in and exhale. And pulling it back. It's okay if your feet drift a little bit, that's just what happens. Now notice I'm going slowly here. I'm not using momentum at all. Usually what happens is we try to pull ourselves up really quickly, but what I want you to do is just gently lift everything. Eventually you'll get so strong that you can just gently lift your entire body up and everything will look super easy. It's time for our side leg kicks now. So this is when we use our mat. So going down the body, we have a couple of options here. Option 1, you can lay down. Again, your internal corset is nice and laced up, or if you're an internal back belt of muscle, your core, if you're a guy and you don't wear corsets, that's fine. Otherwise, I want you to bring your elbow underneath your shoulder, lift up through the rib cage, kick your legs in front about 20 degrees, and we're just gonna kick forward and back, and forward and back. Now you're staying lifted here. In Pilates, a lot of times we're solidifying one area of the body while stretching through and working another part of the body, which is why a lot of times we not only develop a lot of strength, we also develop a lot of control. That's one of our foundational principles. I promise I'm counting for 3 and 2. Here we go. We're just going to do a few circles here. These are really good for your stabilization muscles in your hips, for balance, reverse. So let's say you're maybe not quite able to do balance standing up, you can do it lying down. And last one. Let's just take a big stretch here. If this doesn't work out, you can just kind of pull the legs behind you and just reach as much as possible. And then let's do our other side. Okay. Got a haircut? I still need a haircut. Okay, same thing here. Remember, you can always be lying down. Otherwise, we're lifting up through the rib cage here. Kick the legs in front and just sweep. Now what's going to happen as you get tired is you're going to start to warp your body back and forth to compensate. Please don't do that. Just keep the core nice and strong. Stretch as much as you can. You're going to feel that warming sensation coming up through the hips. For a 3 and 2. And go into your circles. A few of them will do. We're not into copious repetitions here. Just for 3 and 2 and 1. From here you can do a stretch or you can just reach. Our last one here, because we're going to do all sides of the body, we're actually going to do our back. So this is very good for your postural muscles. All we're going to do is lay on your front. Keep your hands by your side. Exhale as you lift, or excuse me, inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. So looking down at the floor, you're curling your spine upwards. You're initiating the movement between the shoulder blades. You're lifting your rib cage off of the mat. My feet are down. Everything else is stable. From here, I'm just using that foundation of my hips to lift my upper body. Last 4 and 3 and 2. Last one. Okay. Now, Pilates would never be complete without the plank. So our last one, we'll just do a quick plank here, and then we'll be good to go. So, forearms or straight arms, knees or toes, You tuck the tail under, and your spine is nice and straight. And this is actually where I'm going to leave you, so you can do this for however long you want. You can do 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, however long you feel like. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye from Positive Joy.